Did the angels, at the beginning of their creation, rank themselves according to the order of their intellectual power? Well, to understand it, you first have to recall the story of the angels at the very beginning of their creation. They find that they are fantastic, they look at themselves, first act, natural of their intelligence. Second act, they worship the Creator. They recognize that they are created. It is an act of justice and intelligence to say that they do not come from themselves. Without exception, everyone loves it. It does not mean that they like, but that they recognize it as such. Third act. In their minds they began to look at each other, because they saw that they were billions. They found that everyone was a universe to oneself, quite different from others with different knowledge. But soon they also noticed that some, when they presented their being, through an act of thought that they directed to another angel, were simpler to express themselves, brighter, more intelligent in fact, because they had received not only a greater or lesser capacity to understand things, but also knowledge infused by God, more or less deep, according to their intelligence. And because they were pure spirits and at home, it is not the beauty of the body they do not have, which hierarchy, but it is precisely this intellectual power. And quite naturally, he hierarchized himself, according to this quality which is intelligence. This is what Saint Dionysius tells the Areopagite. It is perhaps not the true Saint Denis. But no matter, in his very famous medieval book called Hierarchy, Angelic Hierarchies, and that's what he describes. He describes there is a work to do. These are intelligent beings and they are created for that too. So this work is to organize the world, in view of the reception one day of the man and the woman. There is, then, God, who is the master of the work, and necessarily there are supremely intelligent angels with him who will understand his intentions, and for him there are three angelic orders at this summit. At the top he says that they are the seraphim. If I look at the Bible, I would rather say that it is the cherubim, because it is said at one point in a psalm that God is above the cherubim. Always is it that cherubim, that means powerful intelligence. Seraphim, love, and below, the third order of angels, the thrones, which indicates a power, so that its three first hearts of angels are few in number, but which constantly contemplate the projects of God. They do not yet see God face to face at first, but the plans of God well. All the angels admired them, as being the chiefs, the superiors, the most intelligent, and at the top of all, a resplendent cherub whose name Latin is Lucus Ferro, Lucifer in French, a magnificent angel, supreme intelligence of God, at the summit of all that he had created. This angel, like the others at the beginning, worshipped God as his creator. Then, since there was a project to be established, concretely, therefore a world to organize, with atomic structures and then the life and well, three other choirs of angels acted for that. Virtues, powers, and dominations, and St. Thomas Aquinas will give each order a particular function, but what is interesting in these three names of angels' hearts is that they are effective and powerful. Virtues are no doubt concerned with the organization of life, evolution perhaps. The powers, of the organization of the non-living matter, at the very beginning, and the dominations perhaps of putting in order of all this magnificent world. And then once these creatures are structured and well, we have to take care of the concrete act as agents on the spot. For this there are three hearts of angels. The princes, the principalities, who will take care of animal species so that they evolve and they do not disappear. But also human groups, when humans are created, nations. There is a prince who reigns, for example, on, that's what the Bible says, Greece and Israel, and often they discuss among themselves for art that will win a war based on the salvation of the peoples in question. There are then, inferior, therefore closer to the man, the archangels. And here we know 4 names of archangels: Saint Michael, Saint Gabriel, Saint Raphael, and Saint Uriel. Michel, who means who is like God. Gabriel, which means God heals, God announces. Raphael, which means God heals, and Uriel, and I do not know what that means, but it is in the Jewish tradition. So we usually believe that the archangels are the angels at the top of hierarchies. Not at all. If they are close to us, if they concern us, it is just because, having more naturalities, with our way of living, they understand us better than the higher spheres, those who are more directly oriented to God. And finally, the angels, who have given their generic name to all the angels, the guardian angels who will take care of the individuals, an animal in danger, a human being in danger. They are therefore extremely close to us, since it is they who concretely apply the decisions by the angelic hierarchies. We see it for Saint Denis. These 9 choirs of angels are hierarchized according to a project to realize a magnificent work, and at the starting point, the angels know that this work consists in organizing the matter. They have a power over the material, they can really act on them, and they also know that this matter will serve as a receptacle for a human being, less intelligent than them, and therefore, that all think, quite naturally, to be in the angelic hierarchies lower. Well, that's what we'll see. What is certain is that what I have told so far are the 3 natural acts of angels. To illustrate it, Saint Thomas Aquinas says that it is the knowledge of the evening, by referring to the Bible, which says, "He had one evening, there was a morning, first day." Evening, that means an acquaintance natural less luminous than that which will follow the knowledge of the morning and that of the revelation that will come to them. I'll talk about it in the next video.